it's Omicron. Falcon hates puns and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie. Talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Hello. You're not muted today. Hooray.
Huzzah.
It is an opportunity for a celebration, I think.
Sure, you got some champagne? You want to pop it?
No, I do not.
Okay, so it's not that kind of celebrate.
It's not, but we'll observe this day ever after on the May the 20th and May the 21st.
It's the 20th today, so
Ah.
why would we do it on the 21st?
Well, in honor of the other time travelers in the world, they're not all in Australia, you know. There's other time travelers who are existing in the 21st right now, so I figured we would we'd include them, even though most people don't include them in the time travel references.
But why don't we include the people who are still the 19th then? You just said the 20th and the 21st.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah?
because that's most people, and most people really don't need to be included. They should really check their privilege, right? Everybody includes those people all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I just think it's good to recognize marginalized folks who are time travelers of different varieties, and everyone else can kind of just go pound sand, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you name any of the people who it's currently the 21st?
It's just the time travelers. I mean, they all have really confusing names because they're usually from the future, right? Like, because time travel isn't invented until the future. We're not talking about like Leonardo da Vinci or like Ariana Grande or anything. Let me see if I can find a couple of their names for you. Why do you want to know? There's always John Titor, right?
That was the funniest thing that you had no idea happened. You're like, let me see if I can find it. And then Discord was like, disconnected.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Falcon hung up and never came back to finish the podcast. The end. And then Salmacron added an anti-spoiler to the end of it, so people thought it was an hour, but it was really 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Oh, man. You should do that one time. You should be like, super blowout edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour, and it's 2 hours long, but it just ends in an hour.
I could do that.
Could do that. Of course, the fact that we talked about it on the pod makes it a little bit less effective, but people are aware of my anti-spoiler screens. It doesn't completely ruin the concept, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I noticed that earlier today you were editing the podcast.
Uh-huh.
Which, I don't know. I figure editing the podcast on podcast day is playing with fire a little bit, but I think we'll probably be okay. Of course. Go ahead.
No, what do you mean by playing with fire?
I just mean it can turn into a situation where you're suddenly behind, and then suddenly you have 2 podcasts to edit, and then it's like, oh, that's a lot.
How much of that edit did you watch?
Like 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. So you didn't realize that podcast was the one from 2 weeks ago?
No, I didn't. So you're already doing that.
Yes, because what I was trying to do, I was trying to start a buffer, but somehow I got behind on a buffer. And now I still have 1 episode to edit, and now we're recording one, even though I just uploaded an episode 20 minutes ago.
Oh my gosh. You're trying to make a buffer, and you went the other way with it. You have like an anti-buffer.
I have an anti-buffer.
Goodness. All right. So that's what I'm saying, is I guess falling further behind. And then also considering the fact that you got your new PlayStation controller, so you're actually going to be playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake again. It's
true. The controller needs to be charged. So I'm still, letting that happen.
That takes, 3 or 4 hours to do.
It's true.
Does it really?
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
I have no idea how long it takes. All I know is it's currently still charging.
What the all right, fine.
I'm charging it through the USB port on keyboard, right? It's not like it's plugged into a wall socket.
Oh, so or plugged into the PlayStation itself, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the PlayStation is behind my monitors. I don't have to reach over and find where its ports are.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I figured it was just plugged into the PlayStation, but if you're hiding it, that makes sense.
I also don't know how to connect a new controller to a PlayStation, so that's going to be fun.
Is it not USB?
Well, no, but I don't want to have a cable connected to it.
Oh, yeah, no, I know, just for charging purposes. Whatever, it's fine. You got it. We got it figured out.
Right, but when I want to actually play it, I don't know how to connect it. Like, where's the find my new controller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beats me. I'm entirely unfamiliar with PlayStation 4 software.
Okay, cool.
I assume there's a settings option.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
So we can look forward to Somicron playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake and then complaining about it on the podcast because it changed too much stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
I mean, I already went through all the stuff that I had complained about. I have nothing new to add, even though...
Not yet. You'll
Right.
find new stuff, I believe.
Okay, it's entirely possible I might have new stuff, but like you've at this point you've finished the original, so we can talk in a relatively spoiler-free format.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zack, you don't know much about Zack, do you?
So, okay, here's the thing. There's a lot of unreliable narration in this game, which is part of why it's so flipping hard to understand. So, from what I know about Zack, Zack has black spiky hair. And he's pretty, like Cloud is. And he dated Aerith once upon a time. Fell off the face of the earth.
Sort of.
We meet his parents.
Yes.
In the town with... Is that the town with no
Go.
electricity?
Yeah, it was a town with an exploded reactor. Yeah.
Yes. There are a couple of those in this game, but yes.
Yes.
One of them.
Okay. So the things that you also know about Zack is that he was Soldier First Class.
Yeah.
And he was there when Sephiroth and Cloud visited Nibelheim.
Correct.
Nibelheim incident.
He hung out with Tifa and Sephiroth when they went to... Yes, got it.
Yes. And so the thing that you don't know is that after the Sephiroth incident and Sephiroth maybe dies, kind of dies, more or less, and Hojo comes in and starts like rebuilding the town and is like, we're doing experiments on the survivors. He experiments on Zack and Cloud at the same time, right?
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Right. And they escape together. So when Cloud winds up at Midgar 7 or so years later, right?
At the train station.
At the train station with
delirious.
Tifa. Yes.
Yeah.
Because Zack was in a much better condition than him and basically carried him from Nibelheim to Midgar. They had like a truck and they got a lift and stuff. It's a whole story. But Zack dies there. That's where he dies.
In Nibelheim?
No. Just outside Midgar.
What? Oh.
Yeah. Like because he's still being chased by Sinnoh troops, and then like there's one giant last stand fight, and he dies there, and Cloud gives Cloud his sword, and then Cloud gets found at the train station. Right? He like stumbles into Midgar.
This is in that prequel game that you've talked about.
Yeah, a lot of it's in Crisis Core. A lot of it's where it's fleshed out there.
Okay.
The thing is, Zack dies there.
Yeah.
In the remake, there are literal ghosts of fate that you fight and help you at some points. Right? They're trying their best to keep the game on track to the original. Right? So the first time they show up is like you're standing around there chatting with Aerith, but you're not supposed to stand around and chat for too long. So they show up and drive Aerith away. Right? They're trying to keep the plot focused. In like the last 2 hours of the game, Sephiroth and Aerith open up like a portal and you go and kill Fate. For some reason. No idea why. That's new.
Okay.
Right? And then all the ghosts are just gone, right? Like, Sephiroth is now in control of Fate, essentially. He can drive and direct this from wherever he wants. So it's assumed that this Sephiroth is not the first Sephiroth. That this is Sephiroth coming back through the time stream, the life stream, and the timeline to manipulate events so that he can win. Because, like, in his version, Cloud kills him at the end of the game, and they will live happily ever after, more or less. But he's in the live stream and goes back in time, right? See,
it's a Star Trek episode.
Sure, I'll take your word for it. But because the remake ends with you defeating Sephiroth there, but the story then still continues because that's not the end of Final Fantasy. That then shows a cutscene with Zack at his final stand, protecting Cloud, and then just being like, wait, is that it? And is still alive. Right, everything in the game that I've known is like, they've expanded on previous elements. Now they're like, there's these specters of fate, and things are different.
So it's alternate universe Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, ostensibly, right?
Yep, Star Trek has had episodes like this for sure, where you get stuck in an alternate universe and the version of you there is evil and has a goatee and blah, blah, blah. So that's what this is.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's basically all there is to be mad about. Everything else that they've done is fine. Like, swapping around some things that you maybe find out a bit later is okay because it kind of works. And they still set up a lot of stuff that they, from what I understand, they don't finish. Like, they're clearly left because you're meant to find that reveal out later.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Cloud's being, not really who he says he is. He has no memory and stuff like that. They didn't pay off all that yet.
Yes.
Right? So that's all still to come, but they've directly changed and altered events that should have already been settled. Right? Zack being alive is huge.
It's an alternate alternate dimension. I don't know. Yes.
Right. But we were not sold on that. We were sold on a remake of the game, not... Right, if they just didn't, and they were like, look, we're just going to expand all the stuff that's already there, that would have been fantastic. But it's not. It's changing.
Right, a lot.
Yeah.
Got it. So it's like, this isn't really Final Fantasy VII, this is Final Fantasy...
7-A.
Yeah, exactly. Like how in Rick and Morty, they're from Earth C-130.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just playing Final Fantasy VII C-130. Got it.
Right.
Well, there you go.
But other than that, the game's fantastic.
So you like the new combat style and everything?
Yeah, the combat, it's good. I don't know. I still just have questions on how they're going to expand it. Because...
The combat?
Yeah, because in the original, the combat changes in complexity when you have more options of things to do. Like...
Yes.
The counterattack materia. When you get it, you can combo that with cover, right? But there is no cover materia, and counterattack is now a built-in function to a fighting style that Cloud can adopt if you push a certain button, right? And a lot of the materia that you would normally get later in the game all shows up really early. And so I'm wondering, can they create new materia that still keeps it interesting as you leave and make the combat more interesting? And the whole issue of, like, the level cap's 50 and people are leaving Midgar at 50 when the level cap was originally 99.
Yeah,
right?
This sounds like a mess. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've been through this. It's going to be mess and hard and really complicated, and who knows if they'll be able to pull it off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they'll probably finish it in another 10 years, so
probably,
we have some time.
Yeah, we have some time.
Debate it endlessly from now until then, I think.
It's true. We certainly
Final
can.
Fantasy series. Whoosh.
Yep. Good game, though, right?
Yeah, really fun. Good game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't grind as much as it wanted me to, but yep.
No. Well, you also didn't do everything, so...
That's true.
You can finish the game a slightly higher level if you did all the side quests and stuff, right?
Yeah, and did the Chocobo stuff.
Right.
Oh, look what just came out.
What just came out?
A balance patch update.
Hey, would you look at that?
Like 10 minutes ago.
I told you we should switch the day of the podcast.
You were correct. Here, let me send you the link.
Please do.
So a little behind the scenes action for y'all listening. We changed the day that we record the podcast from Monday to Tuesday in America time because Tuesday is when Blizzard puts out their balance patches. And we would have podcasts where we're talking about balance stuff, and then it'd be completely out of date by the time the podcast actually came out.
Right. I mean, it's still an issue if I'm going to be behind like I am so regularly, trying to run a buffer.
That's true. But it won't be as bad as if we did this yesterday.
We might have a solution to that, though. I have top men working on overlays for a live version of the podcast.
Oh, that's true. I've heard. Yeah. Top men.
Top man. Just the one. Just
right. Fair.
Just
fair point. All right. So let's see. We have not seen this before. Live stuff on the podcast. So last month we put together our thoughts on the current state of the game and proposed some changes we've been considering for the next balance patch. Blah, 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 blah. We did a Wardy TV balance test mod invitational to get additional feedback. That's cool. We talked about how each individual Zerg changed, how much ZVT would be impacted relative to the targeted matchup of ZVP. Like, for example, I don't know if we talked about this in the pod where we talked about the proposed changes, but Changing creep tumors to light is good for Protoss, and it's incredible for Terran. So Hellions can clear creep like nothing if that change goes through, right?
Right.
And then the usability and effectiveness of the new battery overcharge ability. So, previously proposed change, anti-air weapon range on Queens decreased from 8 to 7. We don't have strong concerns viewing this change. We don't have a reason to believe it would drastically impact CVT more than ZVP. So,
basically they're saying they're going to keep it.
Oh, wow. I thought that was a slam dunk. They're going to do that one. Oh,
no,
keep the
they're
change?
They're going to keep the change, yeah.
Okay, they're going to keep the change. This is not formatted in a way where it's easy to see what they decided to do versus what they just proposed.
No, it is not.
What? Where does it say that? Blah, blah, blah.
Well, I'm assuming that they're going to keep it because they haven't specifically said they're not.
Ah, yes. Yeah. Truth through omission. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to go ahead and nerf Queen anti-air range. That's cool. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so if I scroll down to Banelings, all right, I just skipped creep tumors. They've crossed it out, and I assume that means that they're not keeping it.
Okay, so crossed out stuff they have canceled. Got it.
Yes.
That's easy. You want to do creep tumors?
Sure. Creep tumors, basically the armored attribute removed, light attribute added. Skeptical how this would change impact ZVT relative to ZVP. Feel comfortable going forward. So yeah, they're keeping it. Yeah. Very few additional tumors were killed by Hellions as a result of the change.
Top level Zerg players have gotten pretty good at protecting the creep tumors in early game, I guess.
Maybe.
It's harder to protect them though if it's like one shot from a Hellion rather than two shots from a Hellion, you know?
Is it currently 2 shots? And this would be 1 shot?
It's not a one shot. I don't know what the number is. I'd have to do some testing.
Okay, because whenever I see Hellions clearing creep, there's always like 6.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't kill it, so I think it'll be fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
They canceled the Baneling changes. Interesting. I mean, we have had some recent really nice wins for Terran versus Zerg in the professional scene, and Banelings didn't quite look as ridiculous as they had been in the last few weeks.
Right.
So I'm wondering if that's part of it here.
But there is a new change for the Baneling.
Yeah. So Baneling weapon damage changed from 20, which is with a plus 15 versus light, to 18 with a plus 17 versus light. Whoa. So they do more damage versus light, but less versus non-light targets. Huh. So this change should impact PvZ more than TvZ, as a much greater proportion of the typical mid-game Protoss army is non-light compared to the typical mid-game Terran Bio army. Yeah, but, I mean, I've always said, if you're exploding your Banelings on Immortals and, like, Archons, you're doing it wrong. I don't think this changes anything. You're still just trying to kill High Templar and Zealots and Adepts with them.
Right.
And now they're better at it, which is good for Zerg, I guess.
Good for Zerg, I guess.
So smaller non-light units like Marauders, Roaches, Stalkers, and Siege Tanks will take 1 additional hit from Banelings to kill it. Okay.
No. It's the same for Zergs, regardless. Because if it's light, right, like the Adepts, they still do the same amount. It's just spread out. It's now more of the bonus sort rather than the flat.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually change for Zergs.
What do you mean it doesn't change for Zergs?
So Zergs...
No, go ahead.
Okay, because I may have misheard you, but you said that all the light units that you want Zergs to Banes to crash into, it's a benefit for. It's not. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the damage versus light compared to old and new doesn't actually change. The only thing that actually changes is damage versus not light.
Oh, yes. I see the math now.
Yeah.
Okay, so all they did was nerf Baneling damage versus non-light targets and kept it this what it is versus light targets.
Right. So things like
sneaky
Marauders, Roaches, Stalkers, Siege Tanks will generally take 1 additional hit from a Baneling.
Yep.
While beefier units like Thor's Archons and Immortals will take more.
What? You're not doing that. You're not killing Archons with Banelings and winning the game anyway. It doesn't matter. That's ridiculous. Okay, whatevs. It's fine. All right. So, kind of middle ground there. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
Wanna hit oracles?
Yeah. Proposed changes: revelation cost decrease from 50 to 25, cooldown increase from 2 to 10 seconds, revelation duration decreased 30 to 15 seconds. All the proposed changes, we were most pleasantly surprised to see by how much this one was utilized, with almost every Protoss player employing it to some degree of effectiveness in PvZ. Okay. We were also surprised by the uptick in mid-game usage. I would like to know how they track the how do they qualify it as being an uptick in mid-game, right? Like, do you just have a spreadsheet that says in 100 games of StarCraft 2 PvZ, from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, there were no new oracles made, but now there were? Like, what exactly?
They have interns that sit down and watch all of it, and they have to keep track on when Revelation gets cast.
Right. But but like, I want the numbers. Some check on the opponent's armies, and are excited to see how future oracle usage will evolve.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. If people are using it, cool.
So they decided not to do any of the proposed changes to add the battery overcharge, but they have a different version of it for us. So where previously overcharges a shield battery, increasing its shield restoration rate by 100%. So all they did was make it so you can overcharge a target shield battery near a nexus. So that's different. That's the only difference here. Well, a little bit of the numbers are different too, but the concept is you can only target shield batteries near a nexus.
Yeah, another.
So basically, they're just saying this can't be used offensively.
Yeah, there's also a slight difference to how it works. In the original one, it was proposed to cause it to regenerate 100 energy over 21 seconds as well, which is half of its energy, if I'm not mistaken. In the new one, it'll allow it to restore shields without consuming any energy for 14 seconds. So it's free heals.
Yeah, free heals, but you don't also get an additional 100 energy. Okay.
Oh, it's also got a 60-second cooldown shared by all nexuses. So you can only do this once a minute.
Ooh, I don't know about this.
No, I don't like that.
And then you can use any nexus to target any shield battery as long as the battery is within range 8 of a friendly nexus. Okay. So basically, a bunch of lings come into your third base, and you overcharge your shield battery from wherever.
Right.
And help stuff survive for a bit.
Yeah.
But only one. Man, a 60-second cooldown is forever.
Yeah, and because it only lasts 14 seconds.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, you're not using that twice in the same battle. That is a one-time toss down. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Big wall of text.
Oh my gosh. I'm not reading any of that.
No. Scroll. Conclusion.
Nope, that's not a conclusion.
Nope, because there are more changes. We reformatted this.
Anyway, Terran, on the Widow Mine, Drilling Claws upgrade no longer grants Widow Mine's invisibility, blah, blah, blah. Armory grants the Widow Mine's invisibility. So they went with this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think it's interesting that you can go ahead and knock out an upgrade by killing a building. We've established there was... God, what did we talk about? It's
Hellion transformation into Hellbats.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a precursor for this. It's still... I still want to see Muta's, dive bombing armories.
Maybe fun.
That'd be fun. All right.
Queen, covered Baneling. Microbial Shroud still no longer requires an upgrade.
So this is just a recap of... This is an easier way to see what they're doing, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
High Templar feedback range increased from 9 to 10.
Oh, that's something.
Yep.
They did talk about doing that. They just didn't cover it in detail here. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting.
Very, very interesting.
I'm really surprised they didn't nerf the Baneling more. But
I reckon they would.
Yeah, I thought that was going through. I really did. But instead of making them squishier, they just made them less powerful against non-light units.
Yeah.
Which I never thought was the problem. Like, in the situations where I saw, I was just like, I don't know what the Terran's supposed to do against this. The banelings are crushing everything light, and then what's left over is, like, 2 tanks, and then they die because they're 2 tanks, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's not like the banelings are killing tanks. Sometimes they are, but only if they're, like, really overwhelming in numbers.
But now they'll be slightly less overwhelming because they'll require more.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where I feel like we need to see it in action a lot before we can really get a handle on it.
Yeah.
Well, then it'll be good or bad.
Should be good.
Should be.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's been a lot of StarCraft recently. We had some GSL. We had some TSL 5. We had some Africa World stuff.
Ooh.
So let me tell you about Zest's weekend.
Okay, tell me about Zest's weekend.
So
We're
talking about May the 5th. Yeah, there we go. Weekend at Zesty's. May the 16th through the 18th, right? So he gets embarrassed in GSL. Gets knocked out. He wins a single map of the 5 maps he plays, just gets crushed thoroughly. Comes on into the Africa World 59, wins the whole thing.
Ooh.
Ends up beating Solar in a best of 7 and winning his 2nd or 3rd Africa World Championship. So feeling pretty good about himself. And then what was the other thing? There it is. And then in TSL 5 gets 3-0'd by Uthermal.
Huh.
What a weekend from Zest.
These are kind of up, down, up. Well,
yeah.
down, up,
down, man. So yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going on with Zest? I mean, I've always said that Solar especially is more of an online cup kind of a guy. So beating him, not as impressive, I don't think, but losing to Uthermal. Like, Uthermal's doing great. He's having a pretty good year, for sure. He's not Hero Marine, though, who's the other foreigner Terran, I think, of, or Clem, that's doing really well. So that was a shocking result. But I guess the larger point to expand on this is, that round 2 winners bracket from TSL 5 that Roddy and Day9 cast was like the most upsettiest of upsets I may have ever seen in that large of a group.
Now, Zest threw the matches so he could get into the losers bracket and only has to have time or Petit Droger or Dongregger, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess you maybe wanted to go through the losers bracket, but guess who else is down there?
Cyril.
TY, Cyril, Innovation, Rainer. Because why? Because we had all these upsets in the second round. So real quick to go through this. Uthermal 3-0 Zest. And Roddy and Day9 are like, wow, huh. Interesting. I didn't see that coming. And then it's Clem versus Don Regu. And Clem 3-0's Don Regu, which, okay, Don Regu has an incredible history in StarCraft, but he's back from military service, and he's not quite up to where he was, and he maybe never will be. But he did 3-0 Solar, but again, ZVZ is such a coin flippy, stupid matchup. Anyway, so that happens. Great. Clem moves on. The foreigner beats the Korean. Technically, that's what it is, although it's not. I think Clem is better than Dong Regu at this point in 2020, regardless.
Okay.
And then Mana, who's 100 years old, or 28 at this point, 3-1 Showtime in a PvP best of 5. I would say that Showtime's been better than Mana for 5 years now, so that's crazy. Trap 3-2's TY, which is that's a reasonable result, I would say.
Okay.
A Laser 3-2 Cyril. Which, again, ZVZ, kind of coin flippy, but still, I would say that Cyril is head and shoulders above Elaser at this point in time. It's just for some reason Cyril's kryptonite is ZVZ at this point.
It certainly feels that way.
Yeah, he's lost to more foreigner Zerg players than he has Korean anything else in the last year, it feels like.
Yes.
So I watched that series, and yeah, Roddy and Day9 were they really wanted to communicate that this was a weird series. Players are getting speed at weird times. Players were hiding things. Players were going for timings that make no sense. And because they didn't make any sense, the others didn't expect them, and they worked. Right. It was, so back and forth. Such a stupid clown fiesta. So Laser beats Serral. Hero Marine 3-1's Raynor, which is an awesome result for Hero Marine. He's been having a great year, but still, Raynor took, runner-up at BlizzCon just a couple months ago here. Sue 3-2's Innovation in an incredible upset because Sue's not been having a good year.
No, and Inno's looking pretty good.
Yeah, Inno was on fire, and then suddenly Sue comes in, and it's a great series. Like, I really want to cast that. I hope they release the replays for those because there's a couple games where it's like I don't know how Sue won that thing. That was nuts. He's playing so well. And then Special beats Cure in a Foreigner beats a Korean TVT series. So again, the mirror matchups, they are not quite as stable, I don't think, as the non-mirrors are in StarCraft right now for sure. So I think it's easier to get a weird result in a mirror, and there were a lot of them in this round.
Right.
Anyway.
I was just looking at Inno versus Sue. This year, they're exactly 50-50 on taking series off each other.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Way to go, Sue. So maybe he just matches up better against Innovation than other people.
That's just this year, though.
Yeah, but we're like almost to June. It's a pretty decent sample size.
It's true.
Yeah.
8 series. So.
Yeah, I think that's a decent sample size.
Okay.
Anyway. So it leads us to a loser's bracket with players like Cure, Innovation, Solar, Raynor, Serral, TY, Showtime, Zest, and it's nuts. It's a crazy loser's bracket. Again, I don't know who would intentionally lose to get down there. Although I guess Zest was first, so he didn't know who else was in the loser's bracket when he lost. So maybe he was planning it.
Maybe.
Anyway, it was good. It was really fun. It was good to have Day 9 back. I've just missed him a lot in the StarCraft scene, and some people in the Discord server before he cast this on Sunday were concerned that maybe he was rusty, maybe he didn't know everything about the current scene, but he actually said in an interview that he's watched everything that his brother Tasteless has cast in StarCraft 2. So that's a lot. That's a lot of high-level StarCraft. So he's aware of the StarCraft 2 scene without question, and he showed he was great. I want to be half as good a caster as Day 9 one day. That's my goal.
Okay.
Even though we figured this out, he's 4 years younger than me. So, you got to have goals.
Gotta have goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good to have goals. I hope you get that one day.
It is. Thank you. I appreciate that. So anyway, TSL 5 was a ton of fun. They're not done yet. We've still got a round 3 and then a round 4 and then a loser's bracket. And it's a whole lot of StarCraft still happening out on Team Liquid's Twitch page.
Round of 6, round of 4, round of 3, finals, and then the champion.
Yeah, it's insane.
There's so many rounds.
So many rounds. It's a lot of StarCraft for people to play. I hope it's a nice prize pool. That's what I hope. Say what it is.
Yeah. First place gets 8,000.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Total prize pool 30,000 USD.
Okay, it's reasonable.
Yeah,
it's not great.
It's not unreasonable, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I mean, it spreads all the way out to like people coming in 17th to 24th, so we have $450, which is a lot.
Wait, what? What's 450? Oh, people in that finished 17th to the 24th.
Yeah, in that position. Yeah. Which, amusingly, because of the way the brackets play out, and you can see who's going to get eliminated where, just by that, if you actually look at it, it knows that one player will be Korean, and will get knocked out there, and one player will be Zerg, so it's already marked those there on the play out.
Oh, yeah. That's hilarious.
It just doesn't know who yet.
I wonder if that's automated or if somebody sat down and figured it out.
I assume it's automated.
Yeah, probably is. And then to GSL, which we mentioned previously, there's one Zerg player in the round of 8. So it's Dark, representing Zerg for Zerg everywhere in these dark times. Haha! TY, Parting, Maru, Deer, Cure, Trap, and Innovation. That is so much PVT. That first round is like, I got a ZVT here, and then PVT.
It's a lot of PVT.
It's a lot. And I do wonder if the Blizzard balance team was like, boy, look at the current GSL. Maybe Zergs don't need to be nerfed as much as we thought they did.
Yeah,
And they changed what they were doing with Banelings.
Maybe, but Duck's going to win the whole thing, you see.
He could. He easily could. It's not an easy thing to win a GSL, but
no,
he could do it.
Yeah, he could definitely do it.
It is a fantastic lineup. That's a lot of scary players. So we'll see how that goes. Making bets?
Making bets. It's the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know who's going to win. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So it looks like they're going to be played on the 20th and the 22nd. This first round is the quarterfinals. Mm-hmm. All right. So we're just betting on the whole thing. Who's going to win it?
Yeah, just the whole thing.
Okay. Well, I think we both say dark, so we both can't take dark.
No, I'm not taking dark. You can have dark. My boy Maru's going to crush dark.
Maru. You know who's looking scary is Maru.
It's true, yeah.
Boy, what did I watch? Maru versus who was it? Zerg player...
Miyamaka.
No.
When Miyamaka toured Maru.
No. It was... Hang on. It was here. Who did he play? Ragnarok. Okay. So, yeah. There was just... Man. The second game... So Maru 2-0s him. The second game was like... The most quintessential... Maru never really won a huge engagement. It was never like, and then he crushes Ragnarok's army and steamrolls to victory. It was, this engagement happens, and Maru kind of came out ahead a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then 40 of those happen, and he kind of comes out ahead a little bit 40 times in a row. Mm-hmm. And at the end of that, Ragnarok's kind of starved out, and Maru's maxed out, and then he wins. But it's the most death by 1,000 cuts game I've ever seen, or possibly in a long time. It's just, it was kind of nuts because it was on, God, I wish I could see. Oh, I can see. It was on Simulacrum, so it's a bigger map, kind of top to bottom. And Maru would just have little attacks coming in to the top side of the map, and the middle of the map, and the top middle of the map. He had 4 or 5 separate armies, just little bits of army with a couple medevacs, attacking all at the same time, and forcing Ragnarok to multitask as well to defend in those different locations. It's so hard. It is so hard to perform and so hard to defend, and he just killed it. He was looking on fire. Continued killing hatcheries. Continued, like he'd show, like Ragnarok would have an army in position to defend right at the bottom, but then he'd be so worried about the attack up top that Maru shows up and Ragnarok doesn't respond for 2 seconds and the hatch is dead. It was crazy. So yeah, I could see Maru winning this, although the history of you betting on him has not gone well.
It's a risky play, I admit, for me to pick him. It's, the curse is real. It's been established at this point, scientific fact. But I like Maru over everyone else.
Wow. Do you like his path? Is that what it is? You like him beating Parting. I can see that.
I see him beating TY and I see him beating Dark, although I think Dark is harder.
Yes,
for sure. Yeah.
For sure. Okay. And then on the other end, he'd just have to beat probably Inno, which he can do. So you going with Dark? Yeah. Got to stick with my terribly underrepresented and underpowered race here. Someone has to.
Yeah, someone has to. It's true. Ooh. All right.
We're going to set up...
conditions?
Yeah.
Well, what do you have for me? Make an offer.
I don't know. I've been thinking about this.
Well, that's your problem.
Seriously. What do we want to do? Were you happy with how the other one turned out?
I don't remember the other one.
When I sent you a bunch of pictures of me when I was a teenager?
Oh, yeah, no, I don't want that again.
No, I know, but were you happy with it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I've got flyers being printed. It's going to be great.
Excellent.
If Maru wins, and he will, right? Think positive. You have to hang an Australian flag from the public-facing window of your house for a month.
Okay. That's
crazy
easy.
And an Australian bumper sticker on your car. Like, I love Australia.
I don't have any bumper stickers on my car. I don't want a bumper sticker on my car.
You could put it in the window of your car.
Like one of those decal ones that come off real easy?
Well, yeah. I mean, why would you want to get rid of it?
Well, after the month. I don't want anything. I have nothing on my car. I'm telling you right now.
And?
That's all. Just when the terms of the bet are over, I just want it gone.
But why would you want it gone?
Because I told you, I don't have anything on my car.
Right, but then you would. Think about it. It works out.
But then you won't. This is an excellent point. Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
All right. Excellent. You get to be an honorary Australian.
Excellent. The world needs more of those, apparently. And for you,
Should I get my singing chords warmed up?
No. I think honestly it'd be worse for you to have an American flag on your house than it is for me to have an Australian flag on mine.
It could be.
Yeah.
But I would also say I'm not sure that's something I can do.
Oh.
There are
'cause you're
two.
renting.
Well, yeah. I mean, I live with the landlord, and if it's not permanent, she's not going to have a problem. But we have shutters over our windows that face the front, so no one would see them. Like I'd have to put it on the outside of those, and that's it could get damaged.
It's true.
Right, or stolen. Right.
What if you painted an American flag on the shutters?
No. Look, I don't have anything on my shutters. Okay.
Can you put stuff on your locker at work?
Yeah.
Could you put an American flag on the outside, like the door?
I could.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I like this. and on your motorbike.
Ooh. Now, listen here. My motorbike already has an American flag on it.
Does it really?
It's a Harley Davidson.
American made?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I forgot they do that.
I think technically my knee covers it when I ride, but
We'd have to make a visible one then, I suppose.
It's on the tank.
Yeah.
I could work something out.
Okay. Deal. So the rules for this are, if they both get eliminated before the final,
It's whoever
Whoever
goes
gets
the furthest. It's whoever goes further.
But
And
if
if
they,
they both, if Parting and TY wins, it's whoever took the most maps.
yeah.
Yeah. And if
So if they both took
get
one map
3.
against TY and Parting?
if they tie, I guess it's a draw and neither of us have to fulfill the duties.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
All right, deal.
All right,
it's
deal.
gonna be some time before we figure this one out, because if it's the 22nd to finish the quarterfinals, then it's probably the 24th for the semifinals. So maybe not too bad.
Maybe not. It should all be
We'll figure it out.
should be done within a week or so.
Right. All right, deal. So let it be podcasted. Let it be done.
Let it be done. Don't let me down, Mar.
Yeah. Heaven forbid he do that for the first time ever.
He's never let me down.
No.
He's so reliable.
It's a wonderful, wonderful human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Consistency, Mar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe that's his nickname, is Mr. Consistent. Anyway, so we finished up the Halo 2 campaign co-op on Twitch the other day.
Yeah, it took 20 minutes.
I know. I had a revelation.
Yeah.
I went in. We were just about finished with the Halo 2 campaign. We'd played a couple sessions already. And I went into Steam to launch my Halo Master Chief Collection. And I was like, you played this for 20 hours. And I was like, wait a second. That includes the entire Halo 1 and Reach and Halo 2 campaigns in 20 hours.
Yes.
And I said, the campaigns for Halo are not as robust as I thought they were.
No, they're just under 7 hours.
Yeah, crazy. I've ranted against games that have 7-hour campaigns and been like, what a waste of time. Why did they even bother? Clearly all they care about is multiplayer. And that was Halo the whole time, and I was holding Halo in greater esteem. Amazing.
I mean, we played on normal.
Yes, there are other issues here. We played on normal, we played co-op, and especially in co-op, both of us have to die to go backwards at all. So there were plenty of times where I would die, but then I'd be able to res you at the place where I was.
Right.
So, yes, if I'd played it solo, I think the time would be significantly longer.
Yeah.
So solo and on a difficulty harder than normal, time would have been added for sure.
I mean, Halo Reach can actually be played 4-player co-op.
That's cool. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So imagine how fast people would blitz that.
Yeah, the speed run's like 47 minutes. Assuming there's no out-of-bounds garbage they found, which they probably did.
Sort of, yeah. There is some. My favorite one, because you can actually speedrun a level on Lasso in under 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically it's a lot of just like running past the enemies up until this one point where you get into a forklift and then you position it against the door that's supposed to like open after you complete like a little timed like wave mission area while an AI plants an objective or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you just park it next to the door that's supposed to open and then get out, if you parked it in the right spot, you'll clip through the wall and it'll trigger the flag for the objective, but not the enemies in the next zone.
Wow. So not only do you get to skip a bunch of stuff, you skip more stuff in the next zone.
Yes, which is the last zone, and you just run to the end.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I found a Halo Reach co-op speedrun in an hour and 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. I was tempted to sit down and watch a Final Fantasy VII speedrun.
Yeah.
That was 3 hours and 25 minutes or something.
How much skipping is there? I guess you didn't watch it.
No, not all of it, but a lot. There's a lot of skipping.
How? What are they doing?
So I believe I did skip through it. It appears they go into a dev room, which is like a way for the devs to test. Like, let's say you implement something on disk 3, you need a way to get there quickly in the game without loading up a phony save file, because if you can make phony save files, players will do it. So I have a dev room where you get in and that can teleport you basically to that thing.
Holy crap, where's that?
I have no idea. I'm yet I went back to try and find it. I'm like, nope, not here, not here, not here. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to watch the whole thing. But basically what they were doing is you can get in there and test fights as well. So what they would do is go in, test fights, get a bunch of AP, and then instantly skip themselves to the final boss.
That's fantastic. Okay. Yeah. Huh. So there you go. 3 hours.
Yep.
Not too shabby.
I believe an actual speedrun that doesn't do that is around 15.
Okay. Good times. Good times in the speedrunning community.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems like that era in particular seems really susceptible to things like clipping through walls and finding stuff like, I don't know.
You would think, but there's not a lot of places where you can actually clip through in Final Fantasy that I've seen. Like, I imagine it's quite hard to just, because it's also basic, right? It doesn't because for Halo Reach, the thing that lets you clip through the wall is the exit animation of the vehicle. It recognizes that there's space to get out there when something currently says that there isn't. But because it's all basic in Final Fantasy, you're not getting out of anything all that often. It's mostly the cars and stuff, but there's never anywhere that opens up, because it's an open world section.
Right.
So I imagine because it's so rudimentary, it actually is a protection against things like that.
That makes sense.
That would be my guess. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not a developer.
We'd have to talk to, probably a speedrunner. I bet a speedrunner would know.
Maybe.
How easy it is to glitch stuff. Probably more than the dev would.
Potentially,
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be.
I would imagine they know how to glitch stuff in a way that's helpful, where a dev would know just how to glitch stuff.
Yes, probably. Probably. Although, I don't know, maybe you're overestimating how much devs understand their own code.
Maybe.
I think sometimes they're like, man, this works. I'm not entirely sure how.
Right.
Anyway. Cool. All right, go dark. Let's do this thing. Be scary. Be Zerg. Show everybody why they should be afraid of Zerg, because they clearly don't respect them right now.
No.
No, not at all.
I finally watched another movie this year.
Oh, okay.
Because
what was it?
It was Joker.
Oh, you watched Joker. All right.
What?
We didn't talk about this on the pod.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
just like what an unsatisfying movie. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
It's like I get everything that they're going for and everything that they're doing, and I'm like, okay, you're doing it well. It's not a fun movie by any stretch of the imagination.
Nope, not at all.
But it's good, and then it's just over.
Yeah. So the biggest problem I have with it is it's called Joker, but it's like naming a movie Batman where it's Bruce Wayne. Right? Like it's the whole movie is just Bruce Wayne doing stuff.
No,
it's like thanks for coming. The end.
Right, but I don't have a problem with that because it does adopt the name Joker at the end, right? Well, near the end, right when he asks
Sure, but he
Murray
doesn't do
to
any.
call him.
He doesn't do any Joker things. He does zero Joker things.
And
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
like
So
I mean,
it's-
he kills good people, goodish bad people.
It's like if Batman Begins, right? You've seen Batman Begins.
Yes.
It was literally just up until the moment that he has with the ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where he refuses to kill the guy and then he escapes. And then it was like, the end. Thank you for watching Batman Begins.
Right, and don't
It
get
would have
me
been
wrong,
like, what?
that too would be an equally unsatisfying movie, right?
Yeah.
This one
That's
is
what I'm saying.
unsatisfying, but I think Joker in who's it, Christopher Nolan Batman?
Yeah.
The other one. That one is a Joker who plans and executes chaos, right?
Mm-hmm.
This Joker is just a Joker who thrives in it.
Well, for about 34 seconds, yes.
Well, no.
From the time he gets rescued from the cop car because these dudes in clown masks crashed into it, not knowing he was in there, mind you, or who he was, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But then he gets out, he's unconscious, he realizes there's chaos happening, and he revels in it for 20 seconds, and then the movie's over.
No, I think he thrives in it through the entire movie because he realizes his entire life is chaos. It's like, oh, he's a clown, but the other clowns want him to leave, right? And but he still manages to come out not on top, but in a position where he's, I don't know, it's not on top, but it's not bad either, right? Like, he gets a girlfriend, he's doing stand-up, he's actively pursuing the things that he wants, right?
He doesn't get a girlfriend. What are you talking about?
The other woman. The woman, with the kid in the elevator. And they go on dates and stuff. He gets a girlfriend.
Did you think that was real?
I have no idea.
Okay,
Because there are several points in that movie where I'm like, is this happening, right? But I don't know.
Huh. Okay, so real quick, you know the scene where he goes into her apartment?
Mm-hmm.
And there's the kid's drawings on the wall. And then she's like, hey, you're Arthur, right? You live down the hall?
Yeah, kind of. I kind of figured she was just like, okay, he knows he has mental issues. And was like, you're Arthur, you remember who you are? Yeah, you live elsewhere, not here. I didn't think she was like, I kind of know you, right?
Wow, interesting. Okay. Because then it does the thing where it's like, hey, remember all these times where we showed you he was on a date with this woman? Let me show you how he wasn't actually on a date with this woman. Do you recall that happening?
No.
Really?
No,
it
I
would
don't.
show, like the scene where like they're just standing in front of a storefront laughing and talking together, and they showed him by himself standing there and laughing and talking to himself.
Did they?
Yeah.
I must have missed that. I think I think I saw that scene and I recognized it as that being the scene where they were together and just assumed she was there.
Then you checked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Because I complained about this. I was like, this is hand-holding garbage. Obviously, we know what's happening here. Why are they showing us flashbacks to hammer home the point that he imagined this relationship? But apparently that was good for you.
Yeah.
Or would have been.
It totally whooshed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
because they show like them interacting in a non like hallucinogenic way multiple times.
yes, they do. They lie to you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And like there's even the part where you assume they go back into her apartment and bang, right? Like,
Yep. Exactly.
how was I supposed to know that wasn't real?
Because they showed you the scenes where they're together and then showed you that, just kidding, Arthur was alone in each one of those scenes.
But
Hot didgeridoo. I cannot believe this.
didgeridoo.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong about this.
I need to pull up the movie and be like, where is that scene exactly?
Yeah, it's towards the endish.
It's towards the endish. Okay. It wasn't available anywhere streaming, so I actually bought it for like $5. But
From the Microsoft Store?
From the Microsoft Store. But
Yep.
now Microsoft Store is not showing me it.
You already watched it. Why do you need it again? Jeez.
Because I own it. Right?
Well, I mean, what's owning in the digital era, really?
You're right. I earn a license to view it. But it's like, you earn 18,000 videos. Give me a minute. I'm like, no, show me it now.
Just show me the recent ones. I don't need you to load all of them.
No, it's true. I've got it sorted by date added. So it should be the first one. Instead, it's 10 Cloverfield Lane.
What? That's okay. It's like 5 years old.
But I must have recently added it. Like, it's recent added is the time which you bought it.
Okay. So you
Right.
just watched 10 Cloverfield Lane recently?
No.
Oh.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the problem. All right, I will get back to you once this actually loads.
Okay. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Because, again, I was mad that the show is hand-holding the audience that hard about that scene.
Okay, I remember when they were standing outside of the newsstand laughing together and then showing
Yeah.
that and her not being there, right? Because
Okay.
I was just like, oh yeah, that's him flashing back to their relationship.
Got it.
I don't remember it flashing back and showing like them at the comedy club with her not being there, or
yeah,
it
there's a
flashing.
bunch of those.
I don't remember it flashing to the hospital where Arthur Fleck's mother is there and she's there, and then she's not there because I might remember that, but there's this part of her in that scene is getting up and leaving. Right, so it might have just shown. I might have like cut to it and then just been like, "Oh, that's after she left."
Yeah. I get you.
All
Like,
right.
I've read some pieces about this, and I'm pretty sure the general consensus is that their relationship is fake and entirely in his head.
I mean, I believe it.
Okay. But anyway, what was the point we were making? You said he was reveling in chaos.
Yeah, but if like none of that's true, then it's just his own descent into chaos.
That's what I think it is. I don't know. I think it's well made. I think it's well shot. I think the atmosphere they're going for, they nailed it. I think Phoenix was fantastic. So it's good. I don't think I'll ever want to watch it again, but I remember it as being a good experience. Like, I was never bored, which is good, I think.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
I somehow was in The Rise of Skywalker, even though it's an ADHD riddled slideshow of nostalgia. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. I don't want to get mad.
You don't talk about Star Wars, huh? Just
don't.
remember when they had that knife that had like a little thing that slid out and you had to stand in the exact right spot to line it up with the Death Star?
Sauron?
And then they were in the exact right spot. Oh my god. How could they have done it? It's amazing. Mind
And
blowing.
the wreckage of the Death Star is in an ocean? One of the more stable environments on the planet, and obviously that part of the wreckage would stay exactly where it was for 20 years or whatever it was.
It's true. Yeah.
I'm gonna punch something. That's what Discord has been for the last week, is just JLC constantly bringing up Game of Thrones Season 8 and Rise of Skywalker. Okay. Peace. Serenity now.
Serenity. You're a leaf on the
Serenity.
wind.
Yes, watch how I soar. Too soon.
All right. I think we're at time.
I think we're at time. So that's about it, I guess. Anything? Real quick coronavirus update. Apparently, the state of Utah is kind of opening up a little bit. They've said we can get together in groups of 50.
Ooh.
And restaurants are open as long as they do social distancing with the tables. So I haven't actually been to a restaurant, but I've talked to people who have, and they've said it's like half the number of tables inside the dining area. And they're all spread out like 8 to 10 feet apart.
I'm going to clip that out of context. It's just you saying, I've never been to a restaurant, but I've spoken to people who have.
Please do. It'll be a nice teaser.
Yeah, should be good.
People will be like, Falcon's a weirdo. I gotta listen to this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I don't know. I feel like things are getting better. To be honest, I kind of gave up on tracking numbers and things, and I haven't looked at that for a couple of weeks now. But it seems like things are pretty much okay.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I operate under the assumption that if things got really bad, I'd hear about it, and I haven't.
It's true. That's one way to look at it. Yeah. I've also been more or less ignoring it, but I'm not 100% convinced that if we just were like, all right, let's undo all the preemptive measures that we took, like shutting people down. If we just undid everything all at once, that this would just still go away. I am not suggesting we do that.
I'm just saying, I don't know, I feel like it's okay to open things up a little bit, which we've done, at least here.
Sure.
So, seems positive, is what I'm saying.
Yep.
And maybe sports will come back, and we can have a sports minute again.
No. just no.
I mean, they had a UFC event. That was a pretty big deal, apparently.
It's like counter sports.
Kind of. Like, of all the sports, I would think that one has the most potential to, like, communicate disease between the players, right?
I don't think
you're basically sweaty, bleeding, dripping mucus all over the other guy the whole time.
Right, but I think football, because there's more people,
yes,
and they're all engaging and swapping back and forth, right? That would actually be more. I mean, even though they're wearing helmets and stuff.
Right. Just on a more
it's like a
people.
mesh thing, right? You know, it's not a proper helmet. Yeah.
Anyways. Cool. So that's it from us. Thanks for listening to the Falcon Paladin Hour with Somicron and Falcon Paladin. Feel free to check out the store where we've got merch as well as the Patreon page for the podcast if you want to support the podcast directly, which you can do. And until next time, as always, thank you for spending your time with us, and you take care of yourself. Oh man, you should do that one time. You should be like super blowout edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour, and it's 2 hours long, but it just ends in an hour.